So today we are going to be doing an introduction to backbends. So some of the backbends classes that I have been doing have been quite intense. So I thought we're still going to do a similar vibe. We're still going to build up and do full wheel if that is what you would like to do. But just in case there are people there that do have back issues, we're not going to go as intense throughout the class. What we're going to do is more work on postures that you need to get you ready for backbend. So things like strengthening the glutes, things like opening your heart center, things like opening your shoulders, getting into your hips, all those areas that you do need to be strong, to be open for you to get into deep backbends. We are going to do some deep backbends today. So for those of you that do have a nice bendy back and you do want to get nice and deep into your spine, we are going to do that. If you would like music, because there's a double stream and Facebook has a load of copyright issues, I can't put music with the class. But if you guys do have Spotify and you want to type in mindful movement, there's a really nice playlist. I think it's the first one that comes up that's got really nice minimal piano music that's quite nice and inoffensive to flow to. At some point, I am going to put together a Spotify playlist for you guys to just access so that you can flow along to the tunes that I've chosen. I just haven't got around to doing it yet. So a couple of things. If you do have any injuries, any aches or pains, or you don't feel well, you're still very welcome to stay and take the class, absolutely. Just making sure that you're being extra mindful of those areas, particularly if they are in your spine or your hips. I'm doing backbends today. Obviously, I'm not there to make sure that you're okay, but listening to your body and never pushing yourself past your own ability. So progress will come when we work at our own ability, not when we push past that, and that's when we get injuries. You want to work to where you're comfortable, and progress will come in that space. So that being said, let's bring ourselves down onto our mats. We're going to start kneeling down today. If this is not a comfortable space for you to start, that's absolutely fine. Feel free to start seated with crossed legs. Bring yourself to the back of your mat today, and you're just going to tuck those heels under. Place your palms on your knees. Sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Pull the shoulders down, keep the spine flat, and take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale. And again, inhaling through the nose, expand the abdomen, feel that air wash through you. And exhale. Keep that breath flowing, and as you do start to draw those shoulders away from the ears, the neck growing long. Softening your facial features and unlocking your jaw, unclenching your teeth and pulling the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Filter out anything that isn't serving you in this moment. And just breathe, filling your body with air. And exhale, release. And as we focus in on our breath, today I want you to set your own intention, something that is important to you. So this week we've had karma, self-care, we've had ahimsa, non-harming. So just setting your own intention for the class. It can be anything small or big, whatever you want to set. And with that intention in mind, let's start to mobilize our body. So draw the chin towards the shoulder. Just give yourself a couple of little head rolls here, just rolling the chin from shoulder to shoulder. And then back to center, come to your shoulders, roll them up to the ears, down the spine. Start to move your spine with your shoulders, so like you're drawing circles with your shoulder blades, but also starting to arch and dome the spine. Really nice. And then just walking those hands forward on the mat and bringing yourself into an all fours position, remembering to cup the palms. So we're digging our fingers into the mat and making a kind of cup shape. So trying not to keep the palms flat and push into our wrists. So today we're going to tuck our toes under rather than keeping the tops of the feet flat on the mat. Pull the navel in, push into those heels, and breathe here, spine nice and flat to begin with. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to drop the navel to the floor, gaze up to the sky in your cat-cow. And inhale, we dome like a scared cat, crown of the head towards the floor. And inhale. So your cat-cow, you're mobilizing the spine. This is the base for your back bends. So we're really starting to loosen up that area nice and slowly. Getting into that spine. And if you want, you can start to freestyle that movement. It's completely up to you today because we are working into our backs. You might want to stay in the spine region as you're starting to wiggle. But of course, as we do this every day, if you do want to do what you usually do, then please feel free. Really use that breath to guide you through the movement, waking up all those corners, those nooks and crannies, your limbs, your spine, your neck. Lovely, everyone. And then bring yourself back to center, back to your all fours position with those toes tucked under. Take a deep breath. You're going to reach that right arm out in front, spreading those fingers nice and wide. And then you're going to take a deep inhale and reach that right arm all the way around behind you. And then follow the circle, bringing that arm back to center. Let's go again. Inhale, reach the arm up and around in a circle. Following the fingers with your gaze, draw the fingers along the carpet or the mat or wherever you are, reach them out in front. Inhale. Again, circling all the way around. And back to center, planting your palms, tuck the toes and push up into a downward dog. But as you come into your downward dog, I want you to bend the knees and I want you to bring your head between your arms. Putting those shoulders away from the ears. So we're almost giving ourselves a slide through the spine. Deep breath, inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to send that right leg up towards the sky into a three-legged dog. Bend the knee, point the toes. Deep breath, inhale to reach that left knee all the way forward towards, reach that right knee all the way forward towards the left elbow. And then across to the right, and then all the way back up. So it's like in a circle. Let's do that once more. So bend the right knee. Bring that right knee all the way across the body. Use that core towards your left elbow, to your right elbow, and back. Three-legged dog. You can keep that knee bent, gazing underneath the right arm, or you can walk all the way over if you want to, planting that right foot and lifting up into a wild thing pose, sending those hips towards the sky. Deep breath here, inhale. And exhale. Gently, we're going to draw ourselves back into our downward facing dog with our knees bent. Take a breath, wave the body forward into a high plank position. And from here, you're just going to step the feet together so that they're touching. Wrists under shoulders, core engaged. Drop the knees to the mat. Hug the elbows in and start to drop your chest, keeping that bum sticking up towards the sky. So not like our normal chaturanga. From here, untuck the toes, push the chest forward and bring yourself into a Cobra Pose. So Cobra Pose, point those toes, engaging your legs, engaging your bums, lifting up through the chest and getting into that lower back. And breathe here, inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to push back onto your knees and just take a quick child's pose, just for one breath. Inhale. And exhale, gently bring yourself back to center, all fours position. Tuck those toes under, so we're pushing into our heels. Just give yourself another little cat-cow here. So inhale, drop the navel to the floor, gaze up to the sky. Exhale, arching. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale to reach that left arm ahead of you now. And start to circle that left arm all the way around, gazing at your fingers. Stroke the floor as you come past and reach out ahead. And again, inhale, we circle that left arm all the way up and back and around. Stroke the floor as you come past, reaching up in front, keeping that gaze. Let's go for one more of those. Circle that arm. Getting into that shoulder all the way behind you. And drop the palms. Spread those fingers, tuck the toes, and exhale into your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. That left leg comes all the way up behind you. Bend the knees and either point or flex the foot. Take a deep breath. That left knee now is going to come all the way across, engage the core towards your right elbow. Then to your left, and then back up. Three-legged dog with the knee bent. Let's go again. That left knee to right elbow, to left, and all the way back up. So it's almost like we're drawing a circle with the hip. Let's go for one more. Left knee across, right, left, and back up. Lovely. You can stay here. Or if you want to, you can walk all the way over into your wild thing pose. Deep breath, inhale. Sending those hips up towards the sky and exhale. Gently we bring ourselves back into our downward facing dog with bent knees. Head coming between our arms. Take a deep breath. Wave the body forward, high plank. Bring the feet together so that they're touching. Drop the knees to the mat. Tuck the elbows in and come down. Pushing the chest towards the mat. Untuck the feet and push forward into your Cobra Pose. Lovely. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale, push back into your Child's Pose. One breath. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, back up into your all fours position with those toes tucked under. Reach that right arm out in front of you and start to drop down onto your left forearm. So it's kind of like our extended puppy pose, but we're going to do one arm at a time to begin with. Reaching that right arm out straight ahead to begin with. And then pull that right arm back. Reach the left arm out in front and come down onto your right forearm. And then reach both arms out in front, pushing into those heels. So this time today, we are tucking our toes under in most of our postures. So knees on the mat, chest towards the mat, and gazing straight ahead, arms out in front. So if your chest doesn't meet the mat, that's absolutely fine, but that's where it's headed. It's headed towards the mat. This is your extended puppy. So we're getting into our shoulders, our upper back, our chest, our abdomen, and our hamstrings. All very important areas when we're working into our spine. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, you're going to gently pull yourself along the mat back into either your baby cobra or your Sphinx pose. Deep breath here. we're going to work into our locust. So I'm going to give you some options. The first is we're going to get our hands in front of us and we're just going to lift our chest off the mat, pointing our toes, and just hold here. Feeling it in your lower back, so it's activating your lower back. It's also strengthening our legs when we engage them like this. Breathe here, inhale. And exhale. If you'd like to take this a little further, you can reach your arms behind you like you're trying to reach your toes. So you're lifting that chest all by yourself. You can also, if you want to get deeper into your spine, lift your legs as well. And I'm going to give you one more option, which is to bring your arms in line with your ears, out in front of you. Deep breath. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release yourself onto the mat with your arms by your side and bring your left ear to the mat and gaze to the right. And exhale. And right ear to the mat and gaze to the left. And exhale. And bring your palms in front of you. You're going to bring yourself back in to your all fours position, tucking those toes. Press with the palms and push up into your downward facing dog. Maybe you want to keep those knees bent as you pull the head between your arms. Deep breath to send that right leg all the way up towards the sky, and then draw that right knee forward. Plant the right foot and drop that back left knee, but keep that toe tucked under. So that's what we're doing today. Deep breath, raise those arms up in line with your ears. Into your crescent moon, your low lunge. So we're going to feel it in our hip flexors. We're also going to feel it in our lower back, and we're going to be strengthening our quads and our glutes. So those are areas that do need to be strong for when we do back bends. And the reason why is when we do things like shoulder bridge or full wheel, we want a good support for our spine. So that's why I say always keep those feet and knees parallel and engage the glutes and the lower back. Deep breath here. Start to pull the elbows out to the side so you're kind of opening that chest. Maybe you want to give yourself a little heart opening there. And then start to reach forward with your arms, framing your front foot, and you're going to bend the back knee and straighten that right leg, pulling those right toes towards your shins and flexing them. Deep breath here. So if it really hurts your knee to keep that back toe tucked under, feel free to release the foot to the mat. That's absolutely fine. You can stay here, or we can take a little balance, which is where you're going to reach and bring your palms to your heart center and try and bring yourself upright in this position. Start to try and pull yourself forward as well. So rather than using the mat, you are very welcome to use the mat if you want to. But if you want to, you can start trying to just use your balance to bring you forward. Deep breath, feeling that hinge in the spine. Remembering that it's just as important to bend forward as it is to bend back when we're working into back bends. We want to counter all those poses. Really nice, everyone. And then let's drop our palms to the mat. Bend that right knee. Frame that front foot. Lift your back leg and reach up into your high lunge. Turning that left foot out and bringing yourself into your warrior two. So warrior two, arms in line with your shoulders. We haven't done this one for a while. Sorry, Facebook, as usual, I'm cutting my head off. So warrior two, tuck that tailbone under. Keeping those hips nice and open. Deep breath here, inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to send that left arm down the back of the left leg. The right arm comes up and over, reversing your warrior. Take a deep breath. Send that right arm all the way across your body and the left arm up and over. Really nice. Let's go again. Inhale. Send that left arm down the back, right arm up and over. And as you exhale, drop that right forearm to your thigh and reach that left arm up and over. But try here to lift up through the chest. Try not to slouch out. We're not hanging out at the pub. We want to keep our chest open, our body aligned. Deep breath here. Then take your left hand and just bring it to your left hip.
And you want to keep that hip nice and aligned. So again, we're not hanging out the pub, although that is kind of what it looks like in this position. We're going to go into our triangle pose. So really good for hip alignment, which again is linked to back bends. Really important that we've got nice, healthy aligned hips, so we're not all twizzly. Start to straighten that front leg and bring that right hand. It can be in line with your ankle, it can be on your shin, it could be anywhere on your leg. And then you're going to straighten that left arm. Pull up through the left fingers and try and gaze up at that extended arm. Trying to make sure your body stays nice and aligned in this position. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, circle the hands around on either side of that front foot and drop back down into your crescent moon. So we're going to drop that back knee, keep that toe tucked under if it's in your practice, bending the right knee and reach those arms up in line with your ears. So low lunge, but with the toe tucked under. Again, if that's hurting your knee, feel free to untuck that toe. And start to bring yourself up so your hips are under your shoulders and we're opening our heart center. Take a deep breath from your arms all the way up above. We're going to pull those elbows out to the side and then circle the arms behind us and just interlace those fingers behind your back, opening your heart center. So if you want to, you can stay here. And if you want to go a little deeper into your spine, you can start to drop those hands back. Maybe they're aiming towards your left thigh. Maybe you feel like you can get super deep. But try and keep your alignment rather than getting deep into the pose. Deep breath here, inhale. And exhale. And with all things back bends, gently coming out the way you came in. Reach those arms up in line with your ears. And then frame that front foot. And step back into your high lunge. Bring those feet together. Drop the knees to the mat. Hug the elbows in. And bring yourself down to the mat, chest on the mat, push forward into your Cobra Pose. Point the toes, engage the bum. Lovely, release the lower back. So we're down on the mat again. Before we go over to our other side, I'm just going to switch sides again. We're going to go for our bow pose. So, bow pose, guys stay in your Cobra for now. Bow pose is a deep back bend. So, if you would prefer to stay in Cobra or Sphinx, so Sphinx is on your forearms, Baby Cobra is a little bit further back with those forearms slightly lifted, and Cobra is even further back still. If you prefer to stay here, that's lovely. If you want to try your bow pose, we're going to draw our knees, our heels in towards our bum. And you're going to take hold of the outside of your feet. With your hands, gaze straight ahead. Take a nice deep inhale, and on your exhale, lift up into your bow pose, lifting the chest off the mat. Try and keep the feet level. Try and gaze straight ahead. Hold here for 5, 4, lovely, 3, 2, and 1. Gently release yourself to the mat. Drop the arms down by your side. Bring your left ear to the mat and gaze to the right. And right ear to the mat and gaze to the left. Bring your palms in front of you. Push yourself back into your Cobra. And then gently back into your Balasana, your child's pose. Bum on your heels, reaching the arms out in front. And breathe. 1 breath here, inhale. And exhale back into your all fours position. Give yourself a little cat couch, just loosen up, a little wiggle of the spine. Lovely. And let's work into our left side. So tuck those toes. Push up into your downward facing dog. Deep breath, inhale, we send the left leg up towards the sky. 3-legged dog. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. Plant the left foot and drop that back knee to the mat. So bring yourself into your low lunge, but with that back toe tucked under. Arms in line with your ears and bringing those hips under your shoulders. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Start to pull the elbows out on either side. Look up towards the sky. Maybe just give yourself a little opening of the heart. And then reach the arms back up and bring them down on either side of that front foot, framing your left foot. Bend the back knee and start to gently straighten that left leg. If having a straight leg in this position is uncomfortable for you, give it a little bend. That's absolutely fine. You want to make sure, as I always say, straight spine. So if to get a straight spine, you need to bend the leg, absolutely do it. And you can either bring your hands on either side of your foot and pull yourself forward, or you can bring yourself up into a balance. Bring your palms together at your heart center and start to drop forward from there, keeping that back toe tucked under if you can. Again, if that hurts your knee, and then bring the top of the foot to the mat. Deep breath, inhale. Keep the spine flat, hinge at those hips, lovely. So we want to feel that pull through the hamstrings. Again, really important to have a nice, healthy relationship between our spine, our hips, our hamstrings, that whole area. It's all linked. You won't get a good back bend if you've got tight hamstrings. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Gently drop your palms down on either side. Bend that front knee, left knee. Tuck that right toe, lift the back leg and reach up into your high lunge. Tuck the hips underneath the shoulders. Turn the right foot out, bring yourself into your warrior two. Tucking the tailbone under. Front knee bent, back foot turned out, arms in line with your shoulders. Gaze down those front fingertips. Take a breath, start to hinge forward and then pull that right arm down the back of the right leg. The left arm comes up and over into your reverse warrior. Breathe here, inhale. Exhale to drop that left arm towards your left calf. The right arm comes up and over, extended side angle. Inhale. Exhale again, the right arm down the back of the right leg, the left arm up and over. And breathe. And then dropping back into your extended side angle with that right arm up and over. So keeping that chest open, remember we're not hanging out at the pub. We want to keep ourselves nice and lifted. You can take that right hand now onto your right hip. Again, this does really look like a hanging out at the pub pose, but you want to keep that chest lifted. Deep breath. So what we want here when we straighten our legs, we want to keep our shoulder and our hip in a straight line. We want to keep them nice and aligned. So we're going to straighten that left leg, take that left arm onto either our shin, our calf. We want to take it to our ankle, wherever works for us, and then reach with the right arm. Lift up through those right fingers and gaze at that extended hand. Bring yourself into your Trikonasana, your triangle pose. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. And inhale, circle both hands on either side of that front foot. Bend the left knee, drop that right knee to the mat, keeping those toes tucked under, and reach up again into your Crescent Moon. So, hips under shoulders, deep breath here, inhale. Start to pull those elbows out to the side and then reach the arms behind you, interlacing the fingers behind your back. And starting to draw the hands towards the mat if you want to. Bring them to wherever feels comfortable. Deep breath. 3, 2, and 1. Gently frame that front foot. Step back into your high plank position and push straight back up into your downward facing dog. Walking those feet out. Deep breath. And then drop down onto your knees. Take those knees about hip width apart and just walk back with the hands. Bring yourself into a high kneeling position. We're going to come into our camel pose. So camel pose is a really nice heart opener. So what we just want to do before we take our camel pose, because we've done quite a few back bends, I just want you to sit your bum back on your heels And just take a little child's pose of Balasana, bringing the crown of the head towards the floor. And breathe here, just to counter those back bends that we've done. And then gently walk up through the hands, roll up through the spine. And then just bring yourself up onto your knees. Bring your palms into the small of your back. So your camel pose from the front. Your knees want to be about hip width apart. Feet behind you. So starting to look up towards the sky. And as you do, you're going to start to gently push the hips forward. Keeping those palms in the small of your back to begin with. And maybe you're happy here, and that is absolutely fine. And those of you that want to get super deep, you can start to drop the hands back onto your heels, bringing the palms over your heels and towards your feet. Maybe you just want to do one arm and reach the other arm back. That's absolutely fine too. You can try that with both arms. Remember, with camel pose, it's a deep back bend. Pushing those hips forward, but doing everything in your own time, in your own limits, and always coming out the way that you came in, so bringing the palms into the small of the back, and then taking a child's pose. So if you are still with me in your camel pose, let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk those hands into the small of the back. Very gently, very slowly. Drop the bum onto the heels. Walk the hands out in front. And curve the spine. Take yourself into your Balasana, your child's pose. Bring your forehead towards the mat and breathe. And inhale. And exhale. And then lift yourself into an all-fours position, tuck the toes and push up into your downward facing dog. Spreading those fingers wide, bend the knees and pull the torso towards the thighs, drawing the head through the arms. Really nice deep breath. Gaze straight ahead and step, float or jump through to a seated position on your mat. Bringing your feet flat, you're going to peel yourself back down onto the mat. Arms on either side of your hips. And allow your sacrum, so the small of your back, to drop into the mat. And push that lower spine into the mat. So this is a really nice position for releasing the spine. Keep those feet flat, and feet and knees are parallel like train tracks about hip width apart. Very, very important is feet flat and feet and knees parallel. So we want to keep them in that position so that we get that engagement in the glutes and the hamstring, but also so that we keep our hips level. We don't want to unbalance our hips or our pelvis. That could lead to a twist in the spine, which can lead to injuries and all those nasty things that we don't want. So just breathe here, pushing the small of the back into the mat. And exhale. And before we go into our full wheel, we're going to take a shoulder bridge, and then we're going to just release the spine a little bit, and then we're going to go into full wheel if that is what you would like to do. That's always the big one, the nice juicy back bend. So we'll leave it till last, and it's completely optional. So we'll take our shoulder bridge to begin with, bringing your arms down on either side. Inhale. As you exhale, start to send those hips up towards the sky. So if someone's got a piece of string through your pelvis, lifting you up. Walking those shoulders together underneath your back and lift the hips high. Remember to keep the feet flat, the feet and knees parallel. You're going to feel that engagement in your glutes and your hamstrings as you lift those hips towards the sky. Shoulder bridge is good for shoulders, back bends, strengthening glutes and hamstrings, your pelvic floor. It's good for Kegels, for pregnancy, if you've had a baby. And it's good for anxiety, insomnia, and stress, which is why I always throw it in a restorative class as well. So just hold here. You can come out whenever you want to, but let's just try and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, gently release back down onto the mat. Draw your knees in towards your chest, up and asana. Release the spine by just rocking from side to side on the mat. So remember that when we are practicing back bends, if you're ever doing this at home, you always want to counter every pose. So for example, if you're doing a deep forward fold, you maybe then want to add a little mini back bend, a heart opener. If you're doing a deep back bend, you want to then maybe do something that counters it. So a forward fold, or up and asana, knees to chest, or a child's pose, or even a down dog. Something that is going to push the spine in the opposite direction, that keeps our body nice and neutral. The body wants to be neutral. We can put it in a million different directions, but we've got to make sure we reset it after every time. So dropping your feet down onto the mat. We're just going to start to drop both knees over to the right. But when we drop our knees, we're going to stagger them, so not keeping them together. So you're going to drop that right knee, and then your left knee is going to kind of come to where your right foot is. Keeping the arms out on either side, and let's start to gaze to the left. So we're just releasing our hips. And breathe here. And slowly and gently, let's start to switch sides. So that left knee is going to drop down, and the right knee is going to come almost like it's coming towards the left foot. Then gaze to the right. And then gently bringing yourself back to center. I'm going to give you guys options here. There are infinite options because really you can do whatever you want, but you can take an early shavasana if you just feel like you're done with the back bends for today, like cool, I'm ready to finish. You can take your legs up the wall, which is kind of really, it's an inversion option, but it works. So you can just bring your legs up straight and push the small of the back into the mat. It's quite a nice restorative pose, resets the body. You can take your shoulder bridge again if you'd like to, or you can come with me and take full wheel. So please, 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 because we're learning online and I am not there to help you, please don't take this pose if it's not already in your practice, or if you don't have someone with you that can help you, that can spot you, that can put their hands underneath your back if you need. If you want to grab cushions to put underneath your head, then please do. Full wheel is a big spinal extension. It's a big heart opener. It's one of the big back bends. It's quite intense. What I want you guys to aim for in your wheel, I'm gonna give you a little demo and then you guys can come up when you're ready. So it's the same setup as shoulder bridge, feet and knees parallel, feet flat, but your hands are gonna come in line with your ears. Inhale to prepare, and on your exhale, you're gonna push up through the arms. So what you're aiming for in your wheel, first of all, always come out when you're ready. Don't try and hold for longer just because I'm still chatting away. And when you come down very gently, you're going to take your Apanasana, so hugging your knees into your chest. So you want to keep the feet flat. You want to keep the feet and knees parallel to keep the hips nice and aligned. You want to almost be looking behind you. What our aim is that we get our wrists under our shoulders and our arms nice and straight so we can push the chest forward. So breathing here, and if you're still with me, let's try and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently drop to the mat, being gentle with your head and your neck, and hug the knees in towards your chest. So there are a lot of variations of wheel. You can do with one leg, you can do forearm wheel. You can walk over into your wheel, you can kick out of your wheel into a kind of little, I mean, we used to call it a walkover when I was when I was young, back in the day, when I used to do gymnastics, which is where you walk back into a wheel and then you kick your legs all the way over, so it's like a full circle. There are lots of different variations. We're not going to cover any of those today. We might at some point in the future, where we have done forearm wheel a little bit, but if you guys would like to do any of those variations, if you leave me a comment either on Zoom or on Facebook or on Instagram and let me know, because I don't want to go super deep into backbends if there's no one that's interested in going that deep or no one that has that in their practice yet, because I just feel like then it's just wasting you guys' time. So if there is anyone that would like to practice those things, we can pop them in at the end of the next backbend class. So take a nice deep breath, everyone. Bring your feet flat, and you're just going to gently finish with a little spinal twist. So let's lift our legs into a tabletop position. Drop your knees to the right and gaze to the left. Just give yourself a little supine twist to finish. Nice way to just release tension. And then gently drop back, knees to the left, gaze to the right, reaching that right arm out. And exhale. And bring yourself back to center and start to straighten yourself out, ready for your Shavasana. So if you have anything that you would like to grab for your Shavasana, so maybe you want to dim the lights, maybe you want to grab a cushion, maybe you want to get a drink of water or pop some music on, whatever you want to do, please feel free to do that now. And again, as always, if you don't want to stay for Shavasana, that's absolutely fine. I will not be offended in the slightest. I know it's not in everyone's practice. But as always, this time is not to force you to meditate. It's just time that you guys can use to just kind of release any tension, to just relax, to have time where you're not bothered by your phone or by anyone else in your house. It's just time to just breathe and be, even if it's only a couple of minutes. That time is so rare, so this is just an opportunity for you guys to have that, even if it is only for a couple of minutes. So when you are ready, bring yourself down onto your mats, palms and feet open, and close your eyes. I know I said this the other day, but I am just going to say it again. Anyone that has been doing the classes with me since the beginning of lockdown, we have officially done a full cycle of the setting sun. So when we started these classes in the middle of March, it was dark, and now it is dark again as we start these classes. So thank you, everyone. I'm so grateful for you spending this time with me all through lockdown and beyond, hopefully into the future as well. So let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose, expand the abdomen, and send all of the air down towards the bottom of the lungs, filling them like a glass all the way to the top. And as you exhale, drawing that navel in towards your spine. And start to tune out your surroundings and tune into your breath, into your body. Allowing yourself to melt into the mat with every inhale, every exhale. And just return to your intention that you set at the beginning of the class. And if it was something that you achieved in the class, then store it away. And if not, see if you can carry it through into the rest of your week, into the rest of your day, into tomorrow.
Let's take our attention towards our feet. Feel them fall open, each toe relaxing one by one. Ankles, calves, knees and thighs lightweight on the mat. Let's allow the base of our spine to melt down into the mat, one vertebrae at a time, unraveling like a chain link. And as you reach your shoulders, feel them pull down away from your ears. Your arms lightweight at your side, palms open and fingers unraveled. Shoulders pulling further away from the ears. Allowing your neck to grow long, head to become light, and facial features soft and gentle. And focusing in on that slow and steady rhythm of your breath, start to unlock your jaw, unclench your back teeth, and drop the tongue down away from the roof of the mouth. Parting your lips and allowing your breath to escape. And finally, take your attention to your chest and your abdomen. That slow and steady rise and fall, pulling you deeper into the mat. Sinking deeper into the earth, becoming one with the ground. As you inhale and exhale. And start to wiggle your fingers and your toes to draw awareness back into your body. Hug your knees into your chest and gently rock from side to side to release your spine on the mat. And bring yourself all the way over onto the right hand side and then up into a seated position, palms on the knees. Drop the shoulders. Let's take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And deep breath, inhale. And this time as you exhale, let out a deep sigh, like we're letting everything go. And draw those palms together at your heart center. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. Have a lovely rest of your evening. Namaste. And remember, there's no class tomorrow, so have a nice little break and hopefully see you all on Saturday. Thank you guys so much. Oh, there's loads of you today. So next week or Saturday, we are going to do the elusive side crow. We are going to work more on our core and a little bit into our pelvic floor as well. And anything else that you guys do want to do, let me know, and we will try and work on those things as well. Otherwise, have a lovely rest of your evening and a lovely Friday. Yes, and see you all later on Saturday.